Throughout history, the idea of angels has always captured the human imagination. These celestial beings, veiled in mystery, possess a power and authority that surpasses human comprehension. But who are they really? What purpose do they serve? More importantly, who among them is powerful enough to stand against the ultimate force of evil, Satan himself? Today, we're about to uncover the story of the most powerful angel in the Bible, the one whose strength, courage, and unwavering loyalty to God make him capable of defeating even the darkest forces. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and get ready for the video. In the pages of Scripture, angels are depicted as far more than the gentle, winged figures often seen in popular culture. They are warriors, messengers, defenders, and agents of God's will. From the dawn of creation, they've existed to fulfill roles that go far beyond human understanding. When they appear, it's often in moments of great significance, times when God is moving mightily on the earth. Their presence signals divine action, and their missions are often ones that alter the course of history itself. And yet, among this celestial army, there is one whose power and authority stand above all others, an angel who has the strength and courage to confront Satan himself. Before we reveal the identity of this mighty angel, it's essential to understand the broader context of the spiritual realm. The Bible teaches us that there's an unseen world, a dimension where fierce battles rage between the forces of good and evil. This is a reality that impacts our world more than we might realize. In this cosmic conflict, angels are not mere spectators. They are warriors in God's army, equipped with unimaginable power and authority to carry out His divine will. They are messengers sent to deliver God's words, protectors who guard His people, and enforcers of His justice against the forces of darkness. But even among these mighty beings, there is a hierarchy, a structure that determines their roles and authority. And at the top of this hierarchy, only one stands as the chief warrior, the ultimate protector of God's people. The Bible speaks of His incredible strength, His unwavering loyalty, and His unmatched ability to stand against the enemy. While many angels are celebrated, admired, and revered, none can compare to the might of this one angel. Today, we are going to peel back the veil and explore what sets him apart, why he is known as the one capable of defeating Satan, and how his story impacts us even today. Prepare yourself for a journey into the spiritual world like never before, where the lines between light and darkness are clearly drawn, and where the mightiest angel in existence steps forward to confront the ultimate adversary. As we dive into this profound exploration, you'll see why this angel's role in the eternal battle between good and evil is more relevant now than ever before. To truly grasp the significance of this most powerful angel, we need to first understand the nature and purpose of angels as revealed in Scripture. Angels are not mere symbols of goodness or ethereal beings floating around with harps. They are far more complex, intricate, and purpose-driven than what popular culture portrays. Created by God before the foundation of the world, these beings belong to a higher order, existing in a realm that transcends our physical reality. Their essence is spiritual, and their presence is often described as awe-inspiring, radiating a brilliance that reflects the glory and majesty of their Creator. Unlike human beings, angels were never intended to experience physical death, nor do they face the limitations of our earthly existence. They possess incredible strength, wisdom, and capabilities far beyond human understanding. The Bible describes them as having the ability to travel across vast distances instantaneously, and their mere appearance can strike terror or bring overwhelming comfort. They are depicted as messengers, warriors, and protectors, always carrying out the will of God with absolute precision and obedience. But even with all their power, angels are not to be worshipped or revered in the same way as God. They are servants, loyal, obedient, and fiercely committed to fulfilling God's commands. One of their primary roles is to act as God's messengers. Throughout biblical history, angels have been sent to deliver critical messages at pivotal moments. Think about Gabriel's announcement to Mary, foretelling the birth of Jesus, or the angel who appeared to the shepherds in the fields, declaring the Savior's arrival. These weren't just random encounters. They were divinely orchestrated moments where the celestial realm intersected with humanity. But beyond their role as messengers, Angels are also warriors. They are equipped to engage in spiritual battles that rage in realms unseen, waging war against the forces of darkness that seek to disrupt God's plans. What's remarkable is that angels are not automatons. They have personalities, intelligence, and even emotions. They rejoice when one sinner repents. They watch over nations, and they stand guard over God's people. In Hebrews 1:14, they are described as ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation, which means they have a vested interest in humanity's journey, protecting, guiding, and fighting on our behalf. Their loyalty is unwavering, and their allegiance to God is absolute, except, of course, for those who chose rebellion. But it's in their role as protectors and warriors that the true extent of their power is revealed. When angels engage in battle, they do so with a force and intensity that defies human comprehension. They can bring entire armies to their knees, execute God's judgment in an instant, and stand against the most fearsome entities in existence. However, among this vast and powerful host, there is one who stands out, an angel whose strength, authority, and mission surpass all others. An angel who, in the ultimate act of loyalty, leads the charge against the greatest enemy of all time. Understanding the divine purpose of angels sets the stage for recognizing why this particular angel is so unique and why he is destined to confront Satan himself. This angel doesn't just embody power, he embodies a divine purpose that echoes through eternity. The story of Lucifer's fall is one of the most tragic and awe-inspiring events in the entire biblical narrative. It begins in the very heart of heaven, a realm of unblemished purity and eternal light, where this magnificent being once stood among the most exalted of all God's creations. Lucifer was no ordinary angel. He was created with an unparalleled beauty and wisdom, adorned with precious stones that shimmered with celestial radiance. He was a cherub, one of the highest-ranking angels, and his role was incredibly significant. He was tasked with covering the very throne of God, dwelling in the presence of the Almighty himself. Ezekiel 28:13-15 provides a glimpse into his splendor, describing him as perfect in beauty and full of wisdom, and having every precious stone as his covering. It's difficult to even imagine such a being, shining brighter than any star, exuding an aura of majesty that could captivate all of heaven. Lucifer's brilliance was not just outward, he was internally magnificent, crafted to reflect God's glory in a way that was unique among all the celestial beings. But it's often said that pride comes before a fall, and for Lucifer, this truth became his reality. Something dark began to take root in Lucifer's heart. Despite all the privileges and honor he had been given, he began to desire more. The thought emerged, perhaps slowly at first, that he wasn't just a reflection of God's glory, but deserving of glory himself. This thought grew into ambition, and that ambition evolved into rebellion. Isaiah 14:12-14 captures Lucifer's inner monologue. "I will ascend to heaven. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will make myself like the Most High." This declaration wasn't just a bold statement. It was an outright challenge to the authority of God, an act of treason that would alter the course of the universe forever. Lucifer, blinded by pride, began to spread his rebellious ideology among the angels. Many were seduced by his charisma, power, and the promise of greatness, and soon he amassed a following. Angels who were willing to risk everything to overthrow the very one who created them. This wasn't just a disagreement or a simple act of disobedience. It was an organized rebellion, a full-scale insurrection in the highest realms of heaven. A war was brewing, one that would transcend anything humanity could ever comprehend, and it would culminate in the greatest clash of power and might ever witnessed in the spiritual realm. It was at this pivotal moment that the angelic being who is the focus of our story stepped forward. While Lucifer sought to usurp the throne, there was an angel who stood resolute, unyielding in his loyalty to God. This angel wasn't swayed by Lucifer's promises or blinded by his brilliance. Instead, he took up arms, ready to lead the armies of heaven against the forces of darkness that sought to overthrow the divine order. This was no ordinary battle. This was the beginning of a celestial conflict that would ripple through eternity. The heavens shook as the armies clashed, and in the midst of this cosmic battle, the loyalty, strength, and courage of this angel shone brighter than the rebellious light of Lucifer. While Lucifer's pride led him to believe he could rival God himself, this angel's humility and unwavering allegiance became the decisive factor in the battle. It was through his leadership that Lucifer and his followers were cast out of heaven, banished from the presence of God, and hurled down to the earth. This epic confrontation between light and darkness marked the inception of the ongoing battle between good and evil, and it's within this context that we begin to understand why this particular angel's role was not only critical, but also why he possesses the power to face even the greatest of adversaries, Satan himself. As Lucifer fell, his name changed, his identity shifted, and he became the embodiment of all that opposes God. Yet the angel who stood against him remained steadfast, serving as a testament to the triumph of divine authority over rebellious pride. Amidst the chaos and rebellion that erupted in heaven, there emerged a figure of unparalleled strength, courage, and loyalty, Michael, the archangel. Known as the chief of all angelic hosts, Michael is not just any ordinary angel. He holds a title that signifies his supreme authority in the heavenly hierarchy. The very name Michael translates to "who is like God," a rhetorical question that serves as a declaration of his absolute loyalty and reverence for the Almighty. While Lucifer's pride led him to challenge God's authority, Michael's very essence was a reminder that no one could ever compare to the Most High. The Bible presents Michael as a fierce warrior, one who doesn't hesitate to take up arms in defense of God's kingdom. In Revelation 12:7-9, we see Michael at the forefront of the celestial battle against Satan. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. But he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. This passage isn't just a historical recounting. It's a testament to Michael's unparalleled might and unyielding commitment to protecting the sanctity of God's realm. Imagine the heavens themselves as a battlefield, with Michael leading the charge, wielding divine power against the forces of darkness, refusing to allow the rebellious spirit of Lucifer to triumph. Michael's role goes beyond just being a warrior. He is a guardian, a protector of God's people. In Daniel 12:1, he is described as the great prince who stands watch over the children of your people. This verse paints Michael as the ultimate defender, someone who stands as a shield against spiritual threats, ensuring that the people of God are never left defenseless. Unlike many other angels who serve as messengers or fulfill specific tasks, Michael's mission is to be the relentless force that confronts evil head-on, always ready to engage in battle when the stakes are highest. One of the most intriguing aspects of Michael's character is not just his strength, but his humility. Despite holding immense power and authority, he never acts out of arrogance or pride. Take, for instance, the account in Jude 1:9, where Michael confronts Satan in a dispute over the body of Moses. Instead of relying on his own strength or claiming superiority, Michael simply states, "The Lord rebuke you." This moment is profound. It demonstrates that even in a confrontation with his greatest adversary, Michael acknowledges that true authority belongs to God alone. It's this humility, this unwavering acknowledgement of God's sovereignty, that sets Michael apart as the ultimate example of what it means to be both powerful and submissive to the divine will. Michael's presence is felt not only in heaven but also in the earthly realm, where he intervenes in moments of great crisis. Throughout history, whenever God's people faced insurmountable challenges or overwhelming threats, Michael was there, unseen but ever present, orchestrating divine protection. His involvement isn't always explicitly mentioned, but the impact of his actions resonates throughout the pages of Scripture. It's no wonder that Michael is often viewed as the ultimate champion of righteousness, a symbol of divine justice in the ongoing struggle between good and evil. But what makes Michael so uniquely powerful? Is it merely his strength, his rank, or his title? The answer lies in his unwavering faithfulness and complete submission to God's authority. Unlike Lucifer, who sought power for himself, Michael uses his strength to serve, protect, and honor the Creator. His power is not self-derived. It's an extension of God's might flowing through him, making him the perfect vessel for executing divine judgment and protection. This distinction is crucial. Michael's strength is unmatched because it is rooted in his complete dependence on God, and it is this reliance that enables him to confront even the most formidable of enemies without fear. Michael's victories are not just tales of celestial battles, they're symbolic of the triumph that comes from unwavering devotion to God's will. Each time he engages in combat, whether it's against the fallen angels or in defending the faithful, Michael embodies the ultimate truth that when we align ourselves with God's purpose, there is no force, no power, and no adversary that can stand against us. His story serves as a powerful reminder that true strength comes not from asserting our own will, but from surrendering to the divine plan and allowing God to work through us. As we delve deeper into Michael's role, it becomes clear why he is considered the most powerful angel in the Bible, the one who stands ready to confront Satan himself. His journey is a testament to the fact that power, when rooted in humility and obedience to God, can overcome even the greatest of challenges. And this is what makes Michael not just an archangel, but a symbol of divine might, a beacon of hope, and the ultimate warrior in the eternal battle against the forces of darkness. The clash between Michael and Satan is not just another skirmish in the celestial realm. It represents the ultimate confrontation between good and evil, light and darkness. This cosmic battle is a defining moment that reveals the sheer magnitude of the spiritual warfare taking place beyond the veil of our physical world. In Revelation 12:7-9, we are thrust into the heart of this epic conflict. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. This is no metaphor or abstract concept. It's a real, tangible war, with Michael standing as the frontline defender of God's kingdom, confronting the adversary that dared to challenge the divine order. Imagine for a moment the heavens themselves shaking under the intensity of this battle. Michael, leading the armies of light, with unwavering resolve and righteous fury, meets Satan face to face, a fallen angel who once stood in the glory of God's presence but now seeks to corrupt all that is holy. This confrontation isn't just about power, it's about authority, truth, and the very essence of what is righteous. Michael, as the chief warrior, embodies God's justice, while Satan, the great deceiver, represents rebellion and chaos. The stakes couldn't be higher, for this battle would determine the fate of not just the heavenly realms, but the destiny of humanity itself. What makes this battle even more extraordinary is the fact that Michael isn't fighting for his own glory. Unlike Satan, who lusts for power and dominance, Michael fights with a singular purpose: to uphold the will of God. His strength doesn't stem from personal ambition, but from his unwavering faithfulness and loyalty to the Creator. This is the key to his power. His absolute submission to God's authority makes him an unstoppable force against Satan, who operates from a place of pride and defiance. As Michael's sword clashes against the darkness, it's not just a physical weapon, but a manifestation of divine truth cutting through the lies and deceptions of the enemy. In this celestial battle, we see Michael outmaneuvering and overpowering Satan, not through sheer might alone, but with the authority granted to him by God. This is crucial. Michael's victory is a testament to the fact that even the mightiest of adversaries cannot prevail against one who is firmly anchored in God's will. It's a reminder that true strength doesn't come from arrogance or self-assertion, but from a heart that is fully aligned with the Creator's purpose. As the battle rages on, Satan and his followers are ultimately cast out of heaven, defeated and stripped of their power. This moment marks a pivotal turning point, a declaration that no force of evil, no matter how formidable, can stand against the righteous power of God. One of the most striking aspects of this battle is how Michael exemplifies humility, even in the midst of victory. There's no celebration, no boastful claim of triumph. Instead, Michael's actions point back to the glory of God, acknowledging that it was by his power and authority that the forces of darkness were overcome. This humility is what sets Michael apart from Satan, who fell precisely because of his pride and desire to be exalted above all. Michael's victory is a direct reflection of what happens when we choose to let God fight our battles, rather than relying on our own strength. The cosmic battle also holds profound implications for us today. It serves as a powerful reminder that spiritual warfare is very real, and that we too are part of this ongoing struggle between light and darkness. Michael's example teaches us that, like him, we are not to fight with our own might, but to stand firm in our faith, trusting that God will equip us with the strength and courage we need. The very act of Michael confronting Satan is an encouragement that no matter how daunting the adversary may seem, victory is assured when we remain steadfast in God's truth. As the dust settles and Satan is cast down to the earth, his defeat at the hands of Michael is more than just a historical event. It's a foreshadowing of his ultimate fate. This battle in heaven serves as a precursor to the final judgment, where Satan's reign of darkness will be brought to a complete and irreversible end. Michael's victory is a testament to the fact that evil can never truly triumph, for it is always destined to be overthrown by the power of God's righteousness. The battle between Michael and Satan is one of the most awe-inspiring and pivotal moments in biblical history, revealing not just the strength and courage of this mighty archangel, but the unshakable truth that God's kingdom will always prevail. And as we witness this cosmic struggle, we are reminded that, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable evil, there is a warrior who fights on behalf of the faithful, ensuring that light will always overcome darkness. Gabriel stands as one of the most well-known and revered angels in the Bible, yet his role is quite distinct from that of Michael. While Michael is the warrior who fights on the front lines against darkness, Gabriel is the divine messenger, the one chosen to carry God's most important revelations to humanity. His very name, Gabriel, means God is my strength, a testament to the power and authority vested in him by the Almighty. Gabriel doesn't wield a sword like Michael, but his words carry a different kind of power, one that has the capacity to change destinies, alter history, and ignite hope in the hearts of those who receive his messages. We first encounter Gabriel in the book of Daniel, where he is sent to explain the meaning of Daniel's visions about the future. In Daniel 8:16, Gabriel appears as a guide, providing clarity and understanding to the prophet, revealing the events that would shape the course of nations. This initial encounter shows Gabriel as more than just a simple messenger. He's a divine interpreter, a bearer of God's wisdom, and insight into events yet to come. His role is not just to deliver words, but to ensure that the recipients understand the significance of God's plans, emphasizing that his mission is deeply tied to the unfolding of divine prophecy. Perhaps Gabriel's most famous appearance occurs in the New Testament, where he is entrusted with delivering the most important announcement in all of human history, the coming of the Messiah. In Luke 1:26-38, Gabriel appears to a young, humble woman named Mary, and in that moment, he speaks words that would change the world forever. "You will conceive and give birth to a son, and you are to call him Jesus. He will be great and will be called the Son of the Most High." Imagine the weight of this message. Gabriel was declaring the fulfillment of prophecies that had been awaited for centuries, and he was doing so to a simple, unassuming girl from Nazareth. His words carried not just information, but the power and authority of God himself, igniting a spark that would lead to the salvation of humanity. Gabriel's interaction with Mary is a masterclass in how God's messengers operate. Despite the magnitude of his message, Gabriel approaches her with gentleness and reassurance, saying, "Do not be afraid, Mary, for you have found favor with God." This demonstrates that, even though Gabriel carries the most profound and life-altering revelations, he always does so with compassion and understanding. He acknowledges the fears and uncertainties of those he visits, and rather than imposing divine will with force, he offers comfort and encouragement. It's this balance of authority and empathy that makes Gabriel's role so unique and powerful. Gabriel also plays a crucial role in announcing the birth of John the Baptist, the one who would prepare the way for the Lord. He appears to Zechariah, John's father, in the temple, delivering the message that this long-awaited child would be born to him and his wife, Elizabeth, even in their old age. When Zechariah doubts this miraculous news, Gabriel responds with a statement that leaves no room for uncertainty. "I am Gabriel. I stand in the presence of God, and I have been sent to speak to you and to tell you this good news." Luke 1:19. In this declaration, Gabriel emphasizes the authority of his mission. He doesn't speak on his own, but on behalf of God himself, a reminder that the words he delivers are not merely announcements, but divine decrees. What sets Gabriel apart is that his role is not just about delivering messages, but about ushering in pivotal moments of change in the divine plan. When Gabriel speaks, history shifts. He is the bridge between heaven and earth, the conduit through which God's intentions are made known to humanity. Unlike other angels who might appear as mere bystanders in the grand narrative, Gabriel's appearances are always tied to moments of profound significance, where God is moving in ways that will alter the course of human history. Gabriel's presence reminds us that God is always at work, even in the quiet, unnoticed corners of life. His messages often come to the most unlikely individuals, an elderly priest, a young virgin, a prophet in exile, and in doing so, Gabriel demonstrates that God's plans are not limited by human expectations or qualifications. His mission is to illuminate the path, to reveal what God is doing, even when it seems impossible or beyond comprehension. Gabriel doesn't just deliver information, he delivers hope, faith, and a sense of purpose, drawing those who listen into a deeper understanding of God's divine narrative. As we look at Gabriel's role, we see an angel who is not concerned with glory or recognition. He doesn't seek to draw attention to himself. Rather, he directs all focus toward God's plans and purposes. This humility, coupled with his unwavering dedication to carrying out God's will, sets Gabriel apart as a shining example of what it means to serve the Most High. He is a reminder that sometimes the most powerful battles are not fought with swords and shields, but with words of truth, messages of hope, and declarations of God's unwavering love and purpose for humanity. Gabriel, the messenger of the Most High, stands as a testament to the power of divine communication, showing us that God always finds a way to reach out to His creation, no matter how far we may feel from Him. His mission echoes through time, reminding us that even in moments of uncertainty, confusion, or fear, there is always a message of hope waiting to be heard, if only we are willing to listen. The Bible provides us with glimpses into the celestial realm, revealing that angels are not merely a random assortment of spiritual beings, but exist within a highly structured hierarchy, each with specific roles and functions. This hierarchy reflects the order and precision of God's kingdom, demonstrating that even in the heavenly realms, there is a divinely ordained structure that governs the activities of these powerful beings. Understanding this celestial hierarchy is crucial, as it gives us insight into how God orchestrates His divine will and how these beings operate within His grand plan. At the top of this hierarchy are the seraphim, whose very name means burning ones. These are the highest-ranking angels, existing in the closest proximity to God's throne. The seraphim are described in Isaiah 6:1-3 as having 6 wings, 2 covering their faces, 2 covering their feet, and 2 used for flying. They are often depicted as being aflame with a fiery passion for God's holiness, and their sole purpose is to continuously proclaim His glory, crying out, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord Almighty. The whole earth is full of His glory." Their role emphasizes the absolute purity and perfection of God, and they serve as an eternal reminder of His majesty. It's fascinating to think that even these celestial beings, so powerful and glorious, find themselves in constant worship before the Creator, underscoring that no matter how exalted they are, their ultimate purpose is to glorify God. Below the seraphim are the cherubim, another class of high-ranking angels. They are often depicted as guardians, protectors of sacred spaces and objects. We see them first mentioned in Genesis 3:24, where God places them at the entrance to the Garden of Eden, wielding a flaming sword to guard the way to the tree of life after Adam and Eve's expulsion. The cherubim are also intricately associated with the Ark of the Covenant, where 2 golden figures of cherubim were placed above the mercy seat, their wings outstretched, symbolizing God's presence dwelling among His people. Ezekiel's vision provides us with a more detailed, albeit mysterious, description of these beings, describing them as having multiple faces, wings, and the appearance of glowing radiant fire. Ezekiel 10:14-15. Their role as guardians and protectors signifies their duty to maintain the holiness and sanctity of God's presence, ensuring that nothing unclean or impure can approach. Next, we encounter the archangels, a term that denotes chief or ruling angels. Though the Bible explicitly names only one archangel, Michael, his role is monumental. Michael stands as the warrior of God, the commander-in-chief of the heavenly armies. As we've explored, he is instrumental in leading the battle against Satan and his fallen angels, serving as the great defender of God's people. Jude 1:9 refers to him as Michael the Archangel, and this title suggests a leadership position among the angelic hosts. The fact that Michael is the only angel given this title speaks to his exceptional authority and power within the celestial hierarchy. It's his role that showcases how God's kingdom is not just about peace and worship, but also about warfare and justice, with Michael leading the charge against the forces of darkness. Alongside Michael, we have Gabriel, who, although not explicitly called an archangel in the Bible, functions in a role of immense importance. As the divine messenger, Gabriel is entrusted with delivering the most significant revelations in history, such as the prophecies to Daniel, the birth announcements of John the Baptist, and, most importantly, Jesus Christ. While Michael represents strength and warfare, Gabriel embodies the voice of God, ensuring that humanity receives the messages that will guide, correct, and prepare them for God's unfolding plan. This duality of roles between Michael and Gabriel illustrates that the heavenly realms are engaged in both spiritual combat and the communication of God's will, working in perfect harmony to fulfill his purposes. Descending further down the hierarchy, we find the rank of the common angels, often referred to as ministering spirits. Hebrews 1:14 describes them as ministering spirits sent out to serve for the sake of those who are to inherit salvation. These angels are tasked with various missions, ranging from providing protection, delivering messages, offering guidance, and even executing God's judgments. It's important to understand that although these angels might be considered lower in rank compared to the seraphim or cherubim, their role is no less vital. They are the ones who interact most frequently with humanity, serving as guardians and messengers who carry out God's will on a more direct level. They act as God's hands, intervening in the lives of his people, often unseen and unrecognized, yet always present in moments of need. An interesting and often mysterious group within the angelic hierarchy are the Watchers. Mentioned briefly in the book of Daniel, Daniel 4:13, 17, 23, the Watchers are described as holy ones who seem to have the responsibility of observing and carrying out God's decrees concerning the affairs of nations and individuals. While the Bible doesn't elaborate extensively on their duties, their presence suggests that there are spiritual beings assigned to monitor and oversee specific aspects of God's creation. This notion reinforces the idea that nothing escapes God's notice, and he has appointed heavenly beings to keep watch over the world, ensuring that his divine plans are executed precisely. Understanding the hierarchy and functions of angels provides us with a glimpse into a realm that operates with a level of organization, purpose, and authority that reflects the very nature of God himself. These celestial beings are not aimless wanderers. They are intentional, each with a distinct mission that aligns with God's overarching plan for creation. The existence of this hierarchy also reminds us that God's kingdom is one of order and structure, where every being, regardless of rank, plays a vital role in the fulfillment of his divine will. What's remarkable is that despite their incredible power and authority, angels are entirely obedient to God's commands, serving him without question. This complete submission, even from beings as mighty as the seraphim and archangels, emphasizes the ultimate authority of God over all creation. It also serves as a powerful lesson for us, highlighting that true greatness lies not in wielding power, but in serving with humility and obedience, aligning our actions with the will of the Creator. Abaddon, the angel of the abyss, stands as one of the most mysterious and fearsome figures in the entire biblical narrative. His name alone, which translates to destruction in Hebrew and Apollyon, or destroyer in Greek, sends shivers down the spine, hinting at the devastating power and authority he wields. Unlike other angels who are typically seen as protectors, messengers, or warriors for God, Abaddon occupies a unique and chilling role. He is not a mere messenger of hope or a warrior of light, but rather a harbinger of doom, a force unleashed during one of the darkest moments in human history. To understand his role and significance, we must first delve into the profound and unsettling imagery of the Book of Revelation, where his story is most vividly portrayed. The scene is set in Revelation 9, where the fifth angel sounds his trumpet, signaling a cataclysmic event. At this moment, a star is seen falling from heaven to earth, and to this star is given the key to the bottomless pit. As the pit is opened, thick, dark smoke rises, blotting out the sun and filling the air with an eerie sense of foreboding. Emerging from this smoke are locust-like creatures, described as having the power of scorpions, and they are given authority to torment humanity for 5 agonizing months. At the head of this fearsome horde is Abaddon, the angelic being who commands and controls this army of destruction. His presence here is not by accident. It is an intentional part of God's divine plan, a manifestation of judgment unleashed upon a world that has chosen to reject the Creator. What makes Abaddon so terrifying is not just his role as a leader of this demonic force, but also the nature of the torment he inflicts. The locusts under his command do not destroy crops or property as ordinary locusts would. Instead, they are sent to inflict excruciating pain on those who do not bear the seal of God on their foreheads. They are instructed not to kill, but to torment, creating an existence that feels worse than death itself. This period of suffering is described as so intense that people will seek death but will be unable to find it, a haunting reminder of the consequences of turning away from God. Abaddon's role in this event underscores the severity and inevitability of divine judgment, showcasing the consequences that await those who persist in rebellion against God's will. But who exactly is Abaddon? Is he merely an agent of chaos, or does he have a deeper, more nuanced role within the spiritual hierarchy? The Bible offers only glimpses into his identity, but these glimpses are enough to reveal that Abaddon is no ordinary angel. Unlike Satan, who rebelled against God and sought to establish his own kingdom, Abaddon operates entirely under the authority of the Almighty. He is not an adversary of God, but an instrument of his judgment. This distinction is crucial because it reminds us that even the most fearsome forces of darkness are ultimately subject to God's control. Abaddon's role, therefore, is not one of independent evil, but rather of fulfilling a divinely ordained purpose within the grand narrative of redemption and judgment. Interestingly, Jewish tradition and apocalyptic literature provide additional context to Abaddon's identity. In some interpretations, he is considered the angel of death, a being who governs the realm of destruction and has the power to release chaos upon the world when commanded by God. This aligns with his portrayal in Revelation as the king of the abyss, suggesting a position of authority and control over the forces of destruction. Unlike other angelic beings who serve by delivering messages or battling spiritual enemies, Abaddon's service is one of unleashing devastation. It's a sobering reminder that God's power encompasses not only creation and life, but also destruction and death, aspects that are often uncomfortable to confront, but are integral to his sovereignty. Abaddon's appearance in the narrative is also a stark contrast to the angelic figures we've discussed earlier, such as Michael and Gabriel. While Michael embodies the warrior spirit of God's army, and Gabriel serves as the divine messenger of God's word, Abaddon represents the destructive side of divine justice. He is the executor of God's wrath, the embodiment of the reality that judgment is not just an abstract concept, but a tangible and terrifying truth. This contrast serves to highlight the multifaceted nature of God's kingdom, where mercy, grace, judgment, and wrath all coexist within the same divine framework. The image of Abaddon leading an army of tormentors from the abyss is one that strikes fear into the heart of any who read it. However, it's important to recognize that Abaddon's role is not one of ultimate power or authority. His actions are confined to a specific moment in history, a particular phase of judgment, as part of God's sovereign plan. He is given authority for a time, but is not permitted to operate beyond the boundaries set by God. This reinforces the idea that, even in the darkest moments of judgment, God's control is absolute. No matter how chaotic or destructive the forces unleashed by Abaddon may seem, they are always under the ultimate dominion of the Almighty. Abaddon's presence in the book of Revelation serves as a profound reminder of the seriousness of sin and the reality of divine judgment. While it's easy to focus on the loving and merciful aspects of God, Abaddon's story forces us to confront the sobering truth that God is also a God of justice, one who will not tolerate rebellion indefinitely. In a world that often trivializes or ignores the consequences of turning away from God, Abaddon stands as a stark symbol of the fate that awaits those who persist in their defiance. Yet, even amidst the terror that Abaddon represents, there is a glimmer of hope. The fact that he operates under God's command, demonstrates that judgment is never outside the realm of God's love and mercy. The very presence of Abaddon in the divine plan shows that God's justice is not arbitrary but purposeful, designed to bring about a final resolution to the problem of evil. His story reminds us that, while God is indeed patient and long-suffering, there will come a time when judgment is enacted, and every wrong will be righted. In this way, Abaddon's role as the angel of the abyss is not just one of destruction, but also a reminder of God's ultimate authority over all things. He is a testament to the fact that no force, no matter how fearsome or powerful, can operate outside of God's will. Even in the depths of the abyss, God's sovereignty reigns supreme, and His plan will always prevail. As the forces of darkness gather for one final stand against the divine, Michael, the archangel, rises as a beacon of hope and strength, prepared to lead God's armies in a battle that will determine the fate of all creation. Unlike any earthly conflict, this battle is cosmic in scale, with eternal consequences that will reverberate across the universe. In the book of Revelation, Michael's role becomes clear. He is not just any angel, but the appointed commander of heaven's army, tasked with waging the ultimate war against Satan and his legions of fallen angels. The stage is set, and the stakes couldn't be higher. This is the climactic moment where good and evil face off, and Michael emerges as the decisive warrior chosen by God to vanquish the powers of darkness once and for all. In Revelation 12:7-9, we are given a glimpse of this monumental conflict. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. But he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. This passage paints a picture of Michael as a relentless and fearless warrior, confronting Satan directly in a battle that has been building since the dawn of time. What's truly remarkable about this scene is the sheer power and authority with which Michael leads the heavenly host. He doesn't fight alone, but commands an entire army of angels, each one bound by their loyalty to the Almighty, ready to follow Michael into the heart of the conflict. This moment is a testament to Michael's unparalleled strength and unwavering dedication to fulfilling God's will, no matter the cost. But why is Michael chosen to lead this ultimate confrontation? His name, meaning "who is like God," serves as a constant reminder of his allegiance and the central truth of God's supremacy over all. It's more than just a name. It's a declaration of defiance against evil. Every time Michael steps onto the battlefield, his very identity is a challenge to Satan's rebellion, a declaration that no one can ever be equal to the Almighty. This sense of loyalty and humility sets Michael apart from other celestial beings, making him the ideal leader for this divine mission. While Satan seeks to elevate himself above God, Michael's purpose is to glorify the Creator, demonstrating that true power comes not from self-aggrandizement, but from serving a higher, righteous cause. As the battle unfolds, Michael's role goes beyond mere combat. He embodies the perfect blend of strength and humility, of power tempered by grace. His actions are not driven by personal glory or ambition, but by an unyielding sense of duty to uphold God's righteousness. Unlike Satan, who sought to usurp the throne of heaven out of pride, Michael's mission is purely one of obedience. This stark contrast between the two figures emphasizes the ultimate truth of God's kingdom, that victory is found not in rebellion, but in submission to divine authority. It's this very submission that grants Michael his incredible strength, enabling him to confront and ultimately cast down Satan, proving once and for all that the forces of evil cannot triumph over God's eternal plan. Furthermore, Michael's involvement in the final battle isn't just about defeating Satan. It's about restoring the order and harmony that was disrupted by the original rebellion. By driving Satan and his followers out of heaven, Michael is actively participating in the redemption of creation, ensuring that God's ultimate purpose will be fulfilled. It's a moment of cosmic cleansing, where all that is unholy is expelled, and the stage is set for the establishment of God's everlasting kingdom. Michael's victory represents more than just a military triumph. It signifies the re-establishment of divine justice, the reassertion of God's dominion over all that exists. It's also crucial to recognize that Michael's role in the final battle serves as a powerful reminder to humanity of the spiritual warfare that rages beyond what we can see. While we may not witness this celestial conflict firsthand, the Bible assures us that Michael and the heavenly hosts are engaged in a struggle that directly impacts our lives. It is a reminder that there is an ongoing fight for our souls, and Michael stands as our defender, battling on our behalf against the forces that seek to destroy us. This realization brings comfort and hope, knowing that we are not alone in our battles, but have an angelic champion who fights for us in the unseen realms. As Michael stands victorious at the end of this apocalyptic clash, he not only secures the defeat of Satan, but also paves the way for the establishment of God's kingdom in all its fullness. His triumph signifies that evil has no place in the divine order, that every act of rebellion will ultimately be brought to justice, and that God's people will finally experience the peace and righteousness that have been promised since the beginning. In this moment, Michael, the archangel warrior, serves as a living testament to God's unyielding commitment to protect and redeem his creation, no matter how fierce the battle may be. And so, in the end, Michael's role in the final battle is more than just a tale of angelic warfare. It is a profound reminder of the power of faith, the strength found in humility, and the ultimate victory that awaits those who stand with God. Michael's title as the most powerful angel isn't just a matter of strength or combat prowess. It's rooted in his unwavering devotion, authority, and unique role in God's divine plan. Unlike any other angelic being, Michael is repeatedly portrayed in Scripture as the one who steps forward when the forces of darkness rise, showcasing not just his might but his absolute dedication to defending God's kingdom. But what makes him stand out above all others? It's not merely his ability to fight, but the way he embodies the qualities that God values most: loyalty, humility, and an unshakable sense of duty. These attributes combined make Michael not just a warrior, but a true servant of the Almighty, and it's this combination that elevates him to the highest ranks of the celestial hierarchy. Firstly, Michael is the only angel in the Bible explicitly referred to as the archangel, a title that signifies not just a rank, but supreme authority over other angelic beings. This title indicates that Michael holds a level of command and leadership unmatched by any other angel, positioning him as the captain of heaven's armies. This role of leadership isn't one that Michael seized for himself, but was bestowed upon him by God, highlighting that his power is rooted in divine authority rather than personal ambition. When Michael commands, it's as though God himself is speaking through him, demonstrating that his power isn't separate from God's, but a direct extension of it. This unique relationship with God's authority is what truly makes Michael the most powerful angel in existence. Moreover, Michael's power is demonstrated by his willingness to confront the greatest of all adversaries, Satan. In Revelation 12:7-9, he leads the charge against the dragon, proving that his strength is not just theoretical, but tested in the fiercest of battles. What's astounding is that Michael doesn't hesitate or waver in this confrontation. He meets Satan head-on, fully aware of the immense danger and opposition he faces. This fearlessness is a testament to his supreme confidence in God's power working through him. Michael understands that he's not fighting by his strength alone, but with the backing of heaven itself. This realization gives him the courage to face even the most formidable foes, proving that his power is both physical and deeply rooted in faith. Another aspect that solidifies Michael's unparalleled power is his unwavering humility. In the book of Jude 1:9, when Michael confronts Satan over the body of Moses, he doesn't resort to his authority or power to rebuke Satan directly. Instead, he declares, "The Lord rebuke you." This act might seem subtle, but it reveals a profound truth about Michael's character. He fully acknowledges that all power and authority belong to God. Unlike Satan, who sought to elevate himself, Michael's strength comes from his absolute submission to God's will. It's this humility that sets him apart and makes his power even more formidable. In a world where power is often associated with pride, Michael's humility demonstrates that true strength comes from recognizing one's place under God's authority. Furthermore, Michael's role as the defender of God's people adds another layer to his power. In Daniel 12:1, he is described as the great prince who stands watch over the sons of your people, a protector who intercedes on behalf of humanity, This responsibility isn't just a title, it's a mission that Michael has taken on with unwavering commitment. He serves as a shield, standing between the forces of darkness and God's chosen ones. This protective role signifies that Michael's power is not just about destruction or combat, but about safeguarding those who are under God's care. It's a power exercised with compassion, guided by a deep sense of responsibility to ensure that God's people are never left defenseless against the onslaught of evil. Michael's power also lies in his eternal vigilance. He doesn't merely appear when called upon, but is ever present, always ready to fulfill his duty. This constant state of readiness demonstrates a level of dedication and resilience that sets him apart from other angelic beings. While others might falter or hesitate, Michael is always prepared, always on guard, and always ready to act according to God's command. His power, therefore, is not just in his actions, but in his unwavering state of preparedness, ensuring that he is always where God needs him to be. Lastly, Michael serves as a declaration of his ultimate purpose and the reason behind his power. Who is like God? It's not just a rhetorical question, but a challenge to any force that would dare rise against the Almighty. Every time Michael steps into battle, he embodies this question, reminding the enemy and all creation that there is none like God. It's this embodiment of God's supremacy that grants Michael his unmatched strength, making him not just a warrior, but a living testament to God's invincible power. In the end, Michael is the most powerful angel, not because of his physical might or celestial rank, but because of his complete alignment with God's will, his unyielding humility, and his role as heaven's ultimate defender. These qualities make him the most formidable force against evil, proving that true power comes from serving the one true God with unwavering faith and devotion. The life and role of Michael, the archangel, offer profound spiritual lessons that transcend time and resonate deeply with the core of our faith. One of the most compelling lessons we can learn from Michael is the importance of unwavering loyalty to God. In every instance where Michael appears in Scripture, his actions reflect absolute obedience to the divine will, showing us that true power and purpose are found in complete submission to God's authority. This unyielding loyalty reminds us that no matter how gifted or powerful we may be, our ultimate strength lies in aligning ourselves with God's plan and remaining steadfast in our commitment to Him. Another vital lesson from Michael's life is the power of humility, even in the face of great authority. Despite being one of the most powerful beings in all of creation, Michael never sought to elevate himself or act independently of God's will. This humility is most evident in his confrontation with Satan over the body of Moses, where he refrained from issuing a personal rebuke, instead saying, "The Lord rebuke you." Jude 1:9. Through this act, Michael demonstrates that genuine strength isn't about asserting one's power, but recognizing that all authority ultimately belongs to God. This teaches us that humility doesn't weaken us. It strengthens us by keeping us anchored to the true source of all power. Michael's life also teaches us about the importance of standing firm in spiritual battles. In a world that often feels like it's engulfed in darkness, Michael's role as a warrior reminds us that we are all called to fight against evil, even when the odds seem insurmountable. He stands as an example of courage and resilience, showing us that spiritual warfare requires more than just strength. It demands unwavering faith and the willingness to confront challenges head-on, trusting that God is always with us. This lesson is a call to arms for all believers, urging us to be vigilant, courageous, and ready to stand for truth and righteousness. Furthermore, Michael's dedication to protecting God's people serves as a powerful example of selfless service. As the guardian of Israel and the defender of God's chosen ones, Michael's actions emphasize the importance of looking out for others, especially in times of spiritual danger. His willingness to intercede and fight on behalf of humanity reflects the love and compassion that God expects us to show one another. This encourages us to be more than just passive observers in the spiritual realm, but to actively engage in protecting and uplifting those around us, using our gifts and abilities to make a difference in the lives of others. Another profound lesson from Michael's life is the significance of patience and endurance. Michael doesn't rush into battle or act impulsively. He waits for God's timing and moves with purpose when the moment is right. This teaches us the value of patience in our own lives, reminding us that sometimes the greatest victories are won not by immediate action, but by waiting for God's perfect timing. It encourages us to trust that even in moments of silence or delay, God is preparing us for something greater, and that our faithfulness in the waiting is just as important as our actions in the battle. Michael's life teaches us that true victory comes not from our strength, but from God's power working through us. Despite his might, Michael never relies on his abilities alone but always acts under God's authority. This reminds us that our battles, whether spiritual, emotional, or physical, are not won by our efforts, but by allowing God to work through us. It's a lesson in surrender, showing us that when we submit to God's will, we tap into a power far greater than anything we possess on our own. As we've journeyed through the celestial realms and explored the incredible power, authority, and significance of Michael, the archangel, one thing becomes undeniably clear. The spiritual battles we face are not just ancient stories, but realities that impact our lives today. Michael's unwavering loyalty, humility, courage, and dedication to God's will serve as a timeless reminder that even in the most challenging moments, we are not alone. He stands as a beacon of hope, a warrior who fights for God's people, and a testament to the power that comes from complete trust in the divine. His story isn't just about an angel, it's about the eternal battle between good and evil, light and darkness, and how each of us is called to take part in that fight. Reflect on Michael's journey and ask yourself, how are you engaging in your own spiritual battles? Are you standing firm, with unwavering faith, just as Michael did? Or are you hesitating, doubting the power that God has already placed within you? The story of Michael challenges us to rise above our fears, to face adversity head-on, and to trust that with God on our side, no force of darkness can prevail against us. It's a call to be bold, to be courageous, and to live a life that honors the divine purpose we were created for. If you've been inspired by Michael's story, if you've felt a stirring within your spirit to fight your battles with renewed strength and faith, then now is the time to take action. Don't let this moment pass by without letting it transform you. Subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any future content that dives deeper into the profound truths of our faith. Leave a comment and share your thoughts. How has Michael's journey impacted you? How can you apply these lessons to your own life? More importantly, share this video with others who might be struggling in their own battles, who need to be reminded that they're not fighting alone. Together, we can create a community that stands strong in the face of adversity, just as Michael stood against the forces of darkness. And remember, every like, share, and comment helps this message reach others who need it most. And finally, if you feel called to delve even deeper into your spiritual journey, take this opportunity to explore our other videos, where we unravel more of the mysteries of the Bible, offering guidance and insight into living a life aligned with God's will. The story of Michael, the archangel, is not just a tale of ancient times. It's a living, breathing testimony of what happens when we place our trust entirely in God. So, take that step today, be inspired, and let the courage of Michael propel you into your own journey of faith. Thank you for watching, and may you walk forward with the assurance that, like Michael, you too are equipped to face whatever battles come your way, with God's power guiding you every step of the way.